or a little bit longer. Okay.
It's Jaunti, boy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jaunti. Welcome back to the channel. I'm finally back here with a new video. I apologize for this part of the mixing series has been long overdue. Things has gotten away, and I don't know if you guys saw my latest video when I did a reaction to DJ Khaled's new record, God Did. There was so much controversy going on with one of the verses on that record that I had to actually react to it based on the certain things that one of the artists has said when it comes to Christianity. Me, I'm a spiritual guy, so I took it to heart and I gave my input on it. If you guys want to check it out, it'll be in the link in the description. But not to get off topic, for those who are new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Also hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of new videos once I upload them. And also give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button for your boy. I would really appreciate it. It will help this channel out a lot. Yeah. The last 3 videos of the mixing series, first I talked about EQ, second compression, and the third one reverb. This time we're going to be talking about delay. But before we get into that, if you don't want to see this part of the video, please click on that timestamp so you go straight into the video on how to use delay effects towards your vocals and instruments. So yeah. This came in the mail less than a week ago. Of course, if you guys saw this box in the corner of the video in my last video, yeah, I've had it for a while. I haven't had the chance to actually unbox it. I'm thinking this could be Michael B. Jordan, Eric Killmonger, if that's what you're wondering. Let's open this and see what we have, shall we? Another box. Cool. Extra protection. Open this up again. Smooth. Okay. This happens all the time when I do that. Sweet. Ah! I've been trying to get my hands on this for a long time. Thank God I got it. Not cheap, but a very good, reasonable price when it first came out. My boy, Eric Killmonger. Yeah. As soon as this came out, so many people, I'm just not a big fan of the resellers. Like, let's say for instance, this is like 25 to 30 bucks, give or take, on Target. People will buy every single size until they run out and then resell them for about 50 to 100 bucks just to make a profit off of it. That's like abusing the, man, I hate it when people do that. But thank God this didn't run out. I got it as soon as possible. I got the pop and the shirt, baby. I gotta see if I can make some room for it though. The boy's running out of room. If you guys would like for me to show you every pop that I have, if you guys are interested, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll make a video on that. If not, then it's all good. You know, people would like to see the pops, or some other people would like to see, you know, the content on music. Anywho, I've been talking enough about this bad boy here. Let's get into delaying some vocals. Okay, like in my other videos, I always explain what type of effect is mainly used for. So as delay, in case you guys don't know what the meaning is, delay is to push something back in time. It's usually blended in with reverb. Some people get reverb and delay mixed up because it has that echo-like effect to both. But delay, it actually just play any type of, it's pretty much, it's an audio effective processing technique where it's used to make your vocals play once again after the main audio signal has been played a few more times, based on how based on the milliseconds of how long you want the delay to last. It gives an echo effect. You could use it to blend in with certain types of instruments. It's very useful, and I will highly recommend it for those, especially if you sing, because for R&B artists, any type of vocalist, as far as for singing, I would recommend using delay on your vocals, because it'll make your vocals stand out more. It'll give a very good rhythmic vibe. It's very useful, and it could gain the public's ear attention very, very well. There's not much to explain about delay, because of course delay has something to do with a lot of numbers. Like I mentioned before in Reverb, I had one guy who mentioned that I was off on the conversions between milliseconds and seconds. I'm not so sure if you guys are aware, but when it comes to finding the reverb time and the pre-delay time, some people use seconds, some people use milliseconds. So I really don't think that I really don't think it matters at all, as long as it's in sync with the beat itself, and if it's suitable for you. Everyone has their way of gaining information. Everyone has their own way of mixing their vocals. There's no proper way. There's no perfect way. Everyone has their own mixing technique. Everyone has their sort of ways to get things done. So it can't be exactly the same for every other engineer. And I got my boy Edward Gwynn. I'm not so sure how soon Eric wants to release this record, because we worked on it a long time ago, but it's completely up to them. I'm just going to use this track, a snippet of the track, to show you guys an example on how to use delay for your vocals and your instruments. So let's get into it, shall we? Alright guys, we're in Pro Tools right now. I'm using this plugin. It's called the H Delay by Waves. One of the easiest delay plugins there is, because it's pretty straightforward. You know, if math is not your best subject, then this one actually help you out. This would definitely help you out with no problem, as far as for keeping your delays in sync with the beat itself. I'm not a mathematician. Math is my least favorite subject, but when it comes to engineering using reverb or delay, if you want to have accurate and proper math equations added to your vocals and your instruments, use plugins like this that will actually show you exactly what's going on. It shows you the BPM. It shows you the delay effect, how many milliseconds. It shows you all of that. It will help you out with no problem. As far as I'm concerned, this is not the only plugin that I use. I use other plugins from Sound Toys like Echo Boy Jr., J37 from Waves, CLA Epic, CLA Echosphere. There's a lot of good plugins out there that can actually help you out. Like I said in one of my other videos, not every plugin that I have is good for you. Not every plugin that you use will be good for me. It's based on your preference. So just because I'm using this plugin doesn't necessarily mean that this is the only and best plugin there is for you to have great vocals or any type of audio effect. You get one of the free plugins and it'll still give you the same effect. It's based on how you use it, based on your knowledge and your experience. So keep that in mind. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be using my boy Edward. Let's see what you got, bro.
Everything low key. I got a side bitch, but I keep it low key. I got a drug nigga, but I keep it low key. I got the keys, but I keep them low key.
Did you hear that? Now, I worked on this record probably going on a year and a half ago. My mixing and mastering techniques were way different back then, so I tend to change them every once in a while. I mean, you really don't want you don't want everything to sound completely the same. I'm not saying that every mix technique that you use on every track is going to sound completely the same. It's based on the engineer's ear and the artist's ear on how they want their music to sound. And also, I recommend using reference tracks. For this beat right here, the BPM is 72 beats per minute. If that's too slow for you, just multiply by 2. And if you want it to be a little faster, by all means, use 144 beats per minute. So in that way, you'll still have the same effect. Either way, it's still fine. So I'm going to put it back to 72 beats per minute. Now, as you can see, it's always important to use delay tap divisions. Now, for instance, for this one right here, I'm using 1/8 D. D is short for dotted, I think. I'm using a 1/8 of a note 1/8 dotted 1/8 of a note on these vocals. So let's see what it sounds like for the main chorus track.
Everything low key. I got a side bitch, but I keep it low key. I got a plug nigga, but I keep it low key. I got the keys, but I keep them low key.
So that one right there is 1/8. It's kind of backwards. Some people say dotted 1/8. Some people say 1/8 dotted or 1/8 D. For me, I'll just use whatever it says on the plugin. You know, I mean, when it comes to mixing, you know, you have to know exactly what you're doing. Me, I've learned everything on my own. I'm self-taught, and plus I went to school for this too. So as far as for learning how to do all the stuff when it comes to using a lot of math, brace yourself. It's not very discouraging. I mean, the more you learn this stuff, the more you start to love it, and it'll just start coming straight to you naturally. For one bar, let's go back to one bar. I think the delay will reappear, like it'll duplicate the audio signal, and then it won't repeat itself until a bar later.
Everything low key. Everything low key.
You see? It'll repeat itself after one bar. One half, it'll be half of a bar.
Everything low key. Everything low key. Everything low key.
And you get the gist of it, you know? So it's based on you blending your reverb and your delay all together. And keep this in mind. Don't use delay just for the sake of it. I mean, some other engineers believe that some artists just want to add these effects just to make it sound more cooler. When sometimes it's not really necessary. But as long as your vocals complement with the beat, you want everything to sound smooth, natural as possible. And you want everything to blend in together. You want everything to be consistent. You want everything to complement with each other. So when you using a beat that gives your vocals potential that it's looking for, timeless sounds, great energy, of course, it's necessary to use sound effects that makes it sound more interesting, but don't add auto-tune or a flanger or anything out of the ordinary that's going to throw the listeners off, because once they hear it, they might not want to listen to it anymore. They might just cut it off right after they hear that effect. As for a half of a note, 1/4 of a note,
Everything.
yeah, for that right there, I recommend for R&B singers, turn down the delay a little bit, let it blend in, add like a little EQ effect to it, and best believe, once you have reverb, turn up just a little bit so it can blend out a little bit more, stand out a little more, and boom, your vocals will complement with the beat itself. It'll sound completely beautiful. You know, I mean, I wouldn't go as crazy as going all the way to 1/64 of a note. You know, like I said, it's based on your it's based on the track.
Everything low key.
So I'm gonna put it back where I had it before. Dotted 1/8 of a note, and this right here, like let's say for instance you guys want to get this plugin. This is the BPM, this is the host, and this is the milliseconds. So instead of showing it in beats per minute, it'll show you the milliseconds of it. I will also recommend using this if you have trouble getting the reverb time. Here's another thing. Go ahead and use this sometimes. As for the ping pong, this is what it sounds like if it's ping pong. Ping pong. It'll go one side of the headphones, out the other, and it'll slowly fade away.
Everything.
And the reason why it's fading away so fast because I have to feedback by 10%. If you want it to last for a little bit longer,
Everything.
or a little bit longer,
Everything.
okay. I'm gonna bring that back to 10. And the left and the right, once it starts to fade away, you'll hear a little bit louder, but not too loud. Yeah, so that's why it's cut short, because of this track itself. I mean, you don't want it to last too long to the point where once you hear a singer's voice and there's a little short gap, you don't want to hear too much of it afterwards. So it's okay to cut it a little bit short. Or if you want to add a little lo-fi effect to it, click on this. It's not too bad. I mean, it's like they slapped a little filter on it. So as for modulation, this is how it sounds when it comes to the depth. Let me turn up the feedback just a little bit so we can hear the modulation and depth with the vocals.
Everything low key.
If you want to hear the rate.
Everything low.
And for the high pass filter and the low pass filter, you guys know what those are. It's like a little mini EQ right here.
Everything. Everything.
And for the analog, I always keep those off when it comes to wave plugins because they add unnecessary noises to the plugin. So if I were you, whether it's if you're using wave plugins and they have the word analog, I would just keep it off. I mean, if you want that analog sound, then by all means go ahead and use it, but it does add noises to your mixes.
Everything low key. I got a side bitch, but I keep it low key. I got a plug nigga, but I keep it low key. I got the keys, but I keep them low key.
And just to keep it a buck with you guys, I'm not very good at explaining certain things, but as far as for the plugin, I believe it's self-explanatory. I don't have to go so far in depth on how to use delay. Blending in with reverb, it sounds a lot more interesting. It sounds a lot more smoother and natural. If you just use reverb, that's fine. But if you want to add some echo effects to it, don't expand your reverb to the point where it's going to stand out a lot more, make it sound more spacey. Because I mentioned this in my last video before when I was talking about reverb. Once you master your music or any type of track with a lot of reverb on a particular instrument or your vocals, it's going to sound a lot more spacey. It's going to just stand out too much. So always use a little bit of reverb to the point where you can still hear it just a little bit. I want to show you more other plugins, but I don't want to make this video too long. I'll just use this particular plugin. That's how you use delay. Delay is so much easy. Use your math right. Get the tempo right. Get the BPM. Also, and get the milliseconds, seconds or milliseconds, whichever you use, whatever conversion that you use from the metric system. If it sounds like it's in sync with the beat, then you're good. Well, I believe that's it for the video. That's not much to show. I might show you some other things on how to make your delay effects sound more interesting by adding other plugins to it. Yes, you could clean them out, you could add filters, you could add compression, you could add any type of effect to make your delays sound more interesting, add style to it. There's a lot you can do with this type of work. Anywho, it's your boy Jaunti. I'm signing off. If you guys have any other questions, concerns, or comments, put it in the comment section below. Put it in the comments. Once again, it's your boy Jaunti. I'm signing off. I love you. God loves you more. Stay blessed. And peace out.